program's
We weren't
not-
actually
look,
streaming. Now we're streaming.
Program's black.
Oh, yeah. So, there we go.
Oh,
We're live.
Now it's the other camera?
Well,
The other
I can-
screen.
I can push this too. There we go.
All right.
All right. We're live. Hey, we are live on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously with a fancy piece of new software called Livestream. And we're testing out our mics for Gamma. I'm going to pause this so I'm not distracted by watching my mouth move after I'm speaking. Don't want to see that. We're on the chat, though. We are live. You can ask us questions. We're going to do live Q&A for as long as we can stand it, which may not be that long. So ask your questions quickly, please. Can you hear us? Can everybody hear us? I should test the sound.
Yes.
I asked you.
I'm hearing myself.
Can you
I'm hearing myself. That's a good sign. Hey,
All good.
Color
Nice
Mage 1, all good. Oh, cool. You know, hearing myself with the lag
It's
makes
weird.
me
Your
slow
brain-
my speech
yes.
down so I can't
hoping
speak
to
correctly.
hoping to sync it up, it'll never work.
No, Aaron couldn't make it over. We invited him, and we were going to play Arkham Horror Living Card Game, or
We were?
the card game,
That's what we were trying to
Oh,
say.
and
man.
he could
Don't
not.
tell me this stuff.
He could not be there. All right. Okay, looks like Twitch is up and YouTube, but we've already got YouTube people. So here's a question,
We
Lincoln.
will be at Origins this year, Glenn.
You want to read the question?
This is Glenn asks, we'll be at Origins again this year, and we are going to be there.
We are going to be there for 5 days.
That's right, for the whole
Wednesday,
the whole run.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right, the whole time.
The whole time. We are, and we were fully booked last year. I suspect that will be. I can't. I gotta stop listening to myself.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking too slow
Yeah, yeah.
because I hear myself.
Hey, it's James. Hey, James.
Hey, James. Long time. Yeah, we'll be at Origins. I'm looking forward to Origins a lot because it's kind of chill, and
No, it's a great convention.
it's a great show to see a lot of stuff without a crazy.
Plus, we had that whole all the designer alley kind of thing that we had those people come in, which was great. Saw some really great games. I still want that Kung Fu Zoo one or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I should introduce myself because I haven't been on live stream in a while.
Well,
On
we
the
have
Board
some-
Game Geek
have.
one. No, the Board Game Geek one. So people
Yeah,
who don't
you
know
were.
me. Not
You-
the Board Game Geek stream. Not
Did we
many
only do it on
years.
Twitch?
Oh yeah, we do. No,
we
we
did.
do it
We
on
did.
YouTube.
We did.
But anyway, I'm Alden.
Essen, yeah, I'm Lincoln, and this is Nikki.
Hello.
So ask us some questions. We're here for as long as
Hey.
we can stand.
Italy.
Hey, well, hello, Viva Italy.
Viva.
We want to play.
Yeah, no kidding.
We want to play too. We played games last night.
Yeah, we played.
We
Yeah.
played Docmus,
Yeah.
which is harder to say.
Especially when I was mispronouncing it.
we called
all.
it Dorkmus was our
Dorkmus.
name. Then it's Docmus, Dokmus.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it, Nikki?
Do
I'll put
I
you on the spot.
talk about? Let's see. That was. I got the city, the capitals in my head right now.
Yeah, yeah. That
We
was
played
fun,
Capital
too.
as well.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Do you
What
want to
do
talk
what
about
do you
it?
think? Oh yeah.
Put me in the spot.
Yeah, sorry. All right, so I'll take over. Docmus is an abstract strategy game where you're trying to get you get all your pieces on the board, but you're trying to discover temples on the board, and you do that by putting them on the tiles and then rotating the tiles, or sliding them, or moving your pieces,
Right.
or and then the fun of the game comes from everybody doing that at the same time. Say hi to mom.
Hi.
Oh,
Hey.
no, it was just a shadow.
Oh, okay. What did I?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, Doug Garrett. How's it going, man? Oh, okay. Here we go. We got some questions coming in fast.
Zoom.
What's your latest hotness, i.e., game in the game, of course?
Go, Lincoln.
I'm trying to think.
know.
Well, I mean, I
Well, you
had a
guys
really
thinking
good
I'll-
time with Capital last night, so that's exciting.
Yeah, we played Capital by
And,
How long
Grana.
was that one?
It was Essen 2016.
Came out this year, past Essen,
Yeah,
2016. Yeah.
And then I really am excited about. We played Clank last weekend for game night, and that's coming up soon. I really like that one a lot.
Yeah.
That was a weird one too, because I don't want to spoil that one.
Yeah, don't
You'll see it
spoil
on
it.
the episode.
Coming soon.
And we played Colony from Bezier Games as well, and that was Nikki's first play of that, and I really liked that one too.
Yeah.
And
What's your latest hotness game? What do you want to play like right now? If we could play
Well,
games right
Arkham
now.
Horror, the
Well,
card
of
game.
course, Arkham Horror, the card game.
Well, we wanted to play
Which
Arkham Horror, the
was
card game,
gonna-
which we were going to do, and now it's 8 o'clock, and we're about to go grab some Indian food, which is from
Yeah.
this fantastic place down the street. But we wanted to test the mics, and I think it sounds all right. Does it sound all right, people? I mean, this is the mic up here. We're probably going to be at this distance from the mic.
Right.
Yeah, you need
Maybe
to
a
crack
little
your
further.
mic
Asking
stand.
us
Oh my
about
gosh.
the-
Okay, questions.
Patreon account. Actually, it's Trey. It's actually best to support us through BoardGameGeek on the on our end of the year roundup. We commented on that, and we gave there's a link to the BoardGameGeek donations page. You can donate
Support
anytime.
page,
Yeah,
not
support page.
donations.
Exactly. You can support any time of the year. It's not just during the end of the year support drive, but it's totally helpful if you go that route.
BoardGameGeek.com/support.
Okay, well that's easy
Okay.
enough.
Are you excited for Too Many Bones?
I don't know that. What is that one?
don't know
I am
either.
actually really excited for it.
Okay.
I wanted to try to get it before I came out here. I might have brought it. It's a chip theory game, I think is the name of the publisher. It's a crazy overproduced dice game with like 500
You're not
dice
going to
in there.
mention your hotness though.
Oh yeah, Gloomhaven, guys. Game of the Year
Yeah,
2017.
That's all you've been
Calling
talking
it now.
about.
It's going to sweep the Golden Geeks just like Scythe. MFers. Anyway, let's see. Okay. I'm excited for Too Many. Okay, what are your opinions of the winners of the Golden Geeks?
I mean, I love Scythe, so that one definitely deserved what I felt that it won. Somebody was upset. They thought that it changed that Innovative had been on there, which is not true because there were only 5, right? It won 5 Golden Geeks.
It won 5 of the awards. It won
Yeah.
Game of the Year, won Best Strategy, it won Best Thematic,
Okay.
it won
I think Arkham Horror, the card game, is more thematic.
Best Solo. What am I forgetting?
2-player? What was the
No,
one that won
not 2-player.
2-player?
God, I can't remember.
Arkham Horror should. I don't think it was that long. Look, let's just.
Yeah,
I
you can
think
look.
the art
Let's
on
just look.
Scythe makes it feel
Captain
more...
Sonar won Innovative,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks Scythe won Innovative. It did not. I don't know where that
Yeah,
confusion
where the
came
disconnect
from. It's
happened.
printed right there.
Yeah, they were like wondering if there was a change. They saw an edit. I'm like, well, from when I first
I
saw it,
made
it
no
was-
edits to the
yeah.
winners. That was the list was printed as it was, and that was the winner list. I love Scythe. I think it's a worthy contender. It's a
Absolutely.
game that's going to last a long time.
Absolutely. Although, according to you, the Gloomhaven is like a forever hours of play on that game.
There's
because
1,000 hours of gameplay in Gloomhaven. At
That is
least.
just crazy. So Golden
I
Gate,
meant to look that up
Golden Geek.
today just to see some
To see
pictures
what
of
it
it.
was. Yeah.
2-player
I don't know.
artwork and presentation.
It won Best Artwork Presentation. That was the 5th category.
Okay.
Yeah.
It won innovative runner up.
Are we doing any bluffing games on Game
Game
Night?
Night?
Bluffing.
Is there anything...
I don't know if we have anything lined up recently. We
Well, you wanted to do... Well, I don't know if you wanted it for game night, but you want to play Secret Voldemort.
oh yeah.
We want to play
Hitler.
Secret Hitler,
Yeah.
but use
Yeah.
the Secret Voldemort
Print and play.
print play.
That would be
Um,
awesome.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Let's see,
Look for
here's-
Secret Voldemort, though. It's cool.
Yeah.
There's an audio hum. So the problem is there's an
it's
audio
like a
hum in
dice
the
game.
background. If
That's the PC.
It
It's
yeah.
the
Unfortunately,
PC.
we are sitting right next to the streaming machine,
And it's getting cranky
which has got
right
a
now.
loud fan. I can't really hear it, but I guess it's. I'm sorry about that, guys.
Can you guys open the case and put in a different fan? Or no?
It's
We-
part of the power supply.
It's a one in yeah.
It's a channel that has these 2 small biscuit fans.
That's too bad.
It sucks. Yeah.
It is a very loud machine.
Here's one of these
Favorite
questions
curry.
I love answering. Favorite curry. What's your favorite curry?
Well, we had.
For Indian or Thai?
Well, what do you
or
want to
in
order tonight? What are we going to order?
We love. Nikki loves
not
the lamb
what do you
korma.
love?
Lamb korma?
That's her favorite.
Really like that.
I really like. Chicken 65 is really awesome
Which
at
one is
this
that?
restaurant.
That's the red chicken, the bright
No.
red.
No, it's the yellow curry. You've had it. You said it was usually
Chicken
dark.
65 is different
In
in every
every place,
restaurant, so I
yes.
never
Yes.
know what it is.
Yeah,
It's a bunch of
But what's your
spices.
favorite-
It's
what's your
mostly
favorite
yellow.
dish?
it's got 65 herbs
It's
and
not the
spices.
mango one?
I don't know.
Chicken mango masala at this restaurant
Yes.
is spectacular.
Chicken mango masala is the
And
best.
It's not
my
really
favorite
curry.
is vindaloo.
Vindaloo.
As hot as you
It's
can
hot.
go. Okay, we've gone through our favorite Indian dishes with that question.
Oh,
Last
sure.
year at Origins. Oh wait, someone made a comment. John Key says, one small request. Could you add your Twitter handles to the credits? We just
talked
this.
about that.
At the
We
end
will
of
be
each
adding that.
episode. I only asked because of the extra live stream. We made mention of them, but I was close because it's hard to.
Joey,
say.
I said to Scott, like, literally 45 minutes ago, I said we need to add a title card that has our social media stuff on it. We will be doing that.
There are no questions on Twitch, by the way. Just checking over there. 5 viewers, though. Okay. I always criticize people who say,
Yeah, it's
but
hard
I just
not to.
did it.
Yeah, I know, it's hard
That's
not
hard
to do.
That's like did you ever take speech class?
No.
Oof. They knock that out of you in speech class.
Okay, I'm not gonna. He says I'm dumb. I didn't realize Game Night had a different support account from BGG. So BGG produces Game Night.
Yeah.
But Lincoln and Nikki do all the work, and Dave and Aaron and everybody else who's been on the show, and I just help them to try.
Well,
to do
if you really love the show, add a little bit extra on your next support pledge.
It'll go to Game Night.
Helpful.
We've been working on the show here and talking about lighting and some scenery changes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, Nikki's does have. Yeah, go ahead.
Can
Go ahead and mention that you
I'm
updating the season 5.
I'm updating the season 5 intro. The intro is
The
going to
animated.
be
Yep.
close to the same with some updates in the animation of it.
Yeah, it actually
I'm
looks
excited
really
to see it. Are you going to show it to me before I leave?
Yeah, we can
I
show you.
can.
Maybe get some
Okay.
feedback
There's
too.
one section
that
that's
yeah.
taking me a while to do.
Okay.
But
How much time do you spend learning a game before recording?
Nikki and I sometimes it will be our first play. We did
no, I said yeah.
we did Capital last night, and it's likely we're going to cover that game, and that one we played in advance. It depends. Like when we get together with Scott, that's when we have the opportunity to really test games. So before we go to Origins, before we go to Gen Con, we often will play games that Scott has been paying attention to, or that we've been paying attention to, and then he has them, and making some determinations. But sometimes it's just we know we're excited about the game and we want to try it.
We play stuff all the time, but then we're like, this would be a good game night. Then.
For example, we played one of the games that we were very excited about, which we hadn't actually played the physical game in advance, was Fabled Fruit. We played a prototype of the game that was pretty darn close, and that was new for everybody except for Nikki and I.
Yeah.
I don't think Dave played it, and Aaron had definitely not played it in advance. And then, or was he even on that video? I think he is. And Fabled Fruit.
Fabled Fruit.
Yeah. So sometimes
That's an easy one to get. Though.
Exactly, but it's sometimes we will not have played it at all. Part
Sometimes.
of that reason. Part of that. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get the mic away from the. So here's the problem. If I could turn the camera down, you would see the computer is right in front of us. It's a loud fan, so I'm sorry. Actually, I should hold this back a little bit. So I was going to say though, with Game Night, sometimes the game is played twice, back to back.
Right. We'll play like a half of a game to just get the flow down, because we do want it to play as smoothly and as quickly as possible. But part of the whole goal is to have questions that new players would have. So Aaron and Dave will often they should usually be very well immersed in the rules, and then we go in, and then as we're being explained the game, we'll ask questions, and that I think is beneficial for the viewers.
Because they're questions that people who are new to the game would have. And so walking in and sitting down and having Dave and Aaron teach us the game fresh allows that kind of questions that you would have as a new player to come up, which is really good.
Is Gloomhaven a one and done? Probably, but you're going to play it for hundreds of hours if you go through the whole game. I don't know if I want to play that multiple times. But the thing is, it's a legacy game, and things change and alter, but the game system is phenomenal, and I wish everybody could play it, but it's unfortunately out of print.
Right now, yeah. Are they doing another Kickstarter for it, or is it just...
I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah, it'll be a lot more expensive this time, though, I would imagine.
Masa Man Curry.
That's good.
That's a good one.
We
had that last night. We went to a Thai place last night.
Yeah.
I'm all about the ethnic food when I come out here.
Doug Garrett. Just a few CDs and DVDs behind you. It's all CDs, Doug. This DVDs are elsewhere.
James Nepoli says Dead of Winter would be fun for game night, which I don't know if you guys ever played Dead of Winter.
No, we've not.
We never did get.
It's co-op, which we would love to do.
We didn't get to it.
The CD wall must have been mad expensive for the show.
Doug, biggest.
Another question: do you play differently on game night than when you play on the camera? Sorry, do you play differently without the camera?
No, that is our group's dynamic on camera for sure. That's why we, when we started to do talk about doing the show in the summer of 2013, no 2012, right? Yeah, 2012. We decided we wanted to have Dave and Aaron on because those two guys are really, really spectacular rules explainers. The crazy thing is we've sometimes had to have them read the game half an hour before the show, and they will have structured how to explain the game in their head and then do it for us right then and there. Obviously, some of the more complicated games take a little time, and Dave will practice doing the rules explanation in the shower as he's getting prepared and stuff like that. But
I've never seen anybody in my life, in my gaming life, able to absorb a rulebook that quickly. And then teach it in their own words by not just reading the rulebook out loud.
Yeah.
They're
They don't even have the rulebook in front
They've
of them.
internalized the rules, and yeah, I mean, there's obviously some mess up sometimes, but they're amazing. I mean, it's ridiculous. You should invite fans to come play on episodes of Game Night.
It's definitely, we're trying to get to the point where we can do stuff like that at BGG and it would be awesome because everybody's there. And, you know, we'll be at, it seems like now we're going to be at, we're going to have the Hot Games Room at Gen Con, and we're there almost every night, if not every night, to play games with. We're all busy during the day, but during the evenings we're there after dinner.
If you're coming to Gen Con, come to the Hot Games Room at the BGG Hot Games Room at, we think it's going to be the Hyatt Regency. Not 100% sure. I will post that on the website, but these guys will be here.
Yeah,
you can meet them and talk to them.
We were there and actually chatted with a lot of viewers at the fair. It was great.
It was fun.
That's actually the best thing, is all the convention.
Michael Dart says, love watching Game Nights. Some of the humor cracks me up. Very friendly atmosphere. Thank you. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
Keith Collins. Hey, Keith. How's it going? I saw you were playing Gloomhaven today.
You can add...
There's another Gloomhaven. We're behind on the chat. There is another Kickstarter for Gloomhaven in April called The Founders of Gloomhaven, but that's a different game.
Oh, okay.
Same designers, though, or something?
Will be an option for the founder. Okay,
Maybe.
Cool. No, it's just another, like, probably, is it another game using elements of the game? Is that what the deal is, or do you not know?
I don't know what that, it's not a dungeon crawl, I don't believe.
Oh.
I think it's more of like a Euro game.
But yeah, he says they're both saying there'll be an opportunity to buy Gloomhaven. Okay. It's just, it would be nice if that was in the stores, obviously, you know.
Is Board Game Geek's logo Lincoln?
No, that is Ernie.
No, that's me.
Yeah.
I changed. No, had too many cheeseburgers. So when we made Ernie, it was a very scraggly looking guy with like the original Ernie logo was just very like quick 5-minute drawing. And then I got to work with this amazing artist, Paul Richards, at my job at 3D Realms. And he was a concept artist, but he was just, you tell him what to make and he'd make it. Like, and he's a drawn fool. I mean, I'm one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life. And so I said, hey, I've got this logo. I wouldn't mind to do a better job for it. Can you do it for me? And he's like, yeah, sure. He took it home. Comes back the next day with the logo, the Running Man with the thing. And, like, blew me away. I was like, wow, okay, that's my logo. I go, what can I give you? He's like, oh, I'll take a game. And I gave him a copy of Settlers of Catan.
Wow.
So
that was the best Settlers of Catan purchase ever.
Okay.
Scroll back up. There's a bunch.
No, we got that. Okay. Something I was curious about during the last episode, no one brought up. I was curious what you guys thought about the theme of Black Orchestra, making a game out of something so serious.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that.
It is. The game is spectacular, and it is a grim theme. But ultimately, what's great about it is you are trying to prevent this from happening. I mean, obviously, history has said that it happened and went for quite a few years. But the dream is can you go back in time and stop it, obviously. And I was reading, because we've been paying attention to the comments, and some folks were not happy about, these people were Nazis necessarily, and a lot of them were not happy about that, and what do you do in that situation? It's a pretty amazing concept that those people were even attempting. There were many attempts to stop this, and that's what's amazing that this truly happened in history. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a true to life historical game,
Yeah.
and I think it's handled well. Like I don't think it's.
They don't.
It's kind of
focus-
like the Freedom Underground Railroad
Yes,
game.
which
It's
is another
it's treated with
spectacular-
immense respect, and it's got all the historical
yeah,
events in the game.
Freedom the Underground Railroad.
I've not
another
played
great
it
example
yet,
of
unfortunately.
Yes.
Freedom, yeah. Something else I was going to say.
Similar horrible theme. You know?
Yeah.
No, I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Are there any additional live plays scheduled?
Oh,
Live streaming.
We would love to do. There's potentially some involvement with International Tabletop Day, but we won't be doing our own live stream for that. And we're not even sure what's going on with that, to be truthful with you. And then, I mean, this is something we want to do.
So here's the deal: if we're not, if Game Night is not at Tabletop Day, we
There's a
might
chance
do
we might
one.
do something, yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's post. It's the end of the problem is it's just before it's just before BGG Con spring by about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's just depending on if we can fit it all in, because it's I think the final weekend of April, the 29th, is International Tabletop Day. So that would be the next one. But this is something we'd like to do more regularly anyway. We have Scott has purchased some equipment to do quick live streams. From Livestream, some hardware called Mevo that we'd like to try to use more informally, where we're not necessarily in the studio and doing different kinds of things. And this is stuff that's actually coming down the pipeline. We're trying to get it together to do that. It's just we are now beginning convention season with the Gamma Trade Show this coming week, and it's amazing how daunting all this is, because we have this, and then we have a convention in New York in April, and then we have BGG Con spring in end of May, and then we have Origins the beginning of June, and then we have a little bit of a break, and then we have Gen Con.
I'm sure something will come up.
Yeah, I know. It's just crazy.
Well, the next question, right there.
I know it's far too expensive, but we'd love to have you at PAX Australia if only we went so far
Eventually,
away.
we're going to try to. We just had our first. Eric went to,
He's at PAX East now.
but he also
Can.
went to Con.
Con,
Yeah, Con.
Con France.
Is it? No, it's Cannes.
Cannes,
Con is
France.
the
Cannes,
northern one,
France.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a great deal for us to be there, and the publishers were happy we were there. So we're looking to maybe grow that next year. There's a ton of events that we.
So many games there too. If you check our channel and go look at the recent videos, all the preview videos from Cannes and Nuremberg are uploaded now, I believe. Maybe a few are not quite uploaded, but there was a lot of cool games.
Oh no, it's exciting. It's exciting. That's a huge event too. We heard there's 150,000 attendees or through the door. I don't know.
like that.
Yeah, but still, it's a gigantic event, and I'd only heard briefly about it. I had no idea the scope of it in advance of this.
Glenn asks, how do you get into the BGG Hotness game room at Indy Hyatt? You pay at the door or beforehand? No, you don't pay at the door. You buy
Buy the
tickets.
tickets.
Yeah, from
And in
the
fact, you should
Gen
buy the
Con.
it'll be in the scheduling system at Gen Con. It'll say BGG Hot Games or something like that, or BoardGameGeek Hot Games room,
Okay.
and buy those tickets because that will guarantee you a space
Yeah,
in
there's
the
a
room.
generic ticket that doesn't commit you to a time, and we do accept them when there's openings.
But
when they're
they're-
scheduled. But
they're
It
deprioritized.
was very packed this last year, and we only announced that we were doing it less than 2 weeks before the event because they asked us to fill in for an event that canceled,
Yeah.
and that it's probably going to be worse this year because that we will be in the schedule, and we will for much more from the beginning of the announcements of all those schedules. So it's going to be rough. Hopefully, we know the room sooner rather than later.
Oh, you're jumping.
How often do you guys are you guys able to get together to film Game Night episodes?
Well, we had Black Orchestra was a month ago, a little over a month ago, and then we filmed last week. And so this time, in this case, it's once a month. We had a larger gap over the holidays, of course, because we were all busy, but we'd like to be at least once a month, if not twice a month. It just depends.
And it's everybody's schedules, right?
yes,
It's all
there's
your
a lot of
schedules, Dave,
coordinating.
Aaron, and
That's-
Rusty, and
That's why we have more than just the four of us as
Yeah.
hosts or players, because we don't. It's difficult to get everybody together, especially because we are now so much busy with the convention stuff. It ends up putting a big monkey wrench in the works to get those events.
yeah,
in.
it's a busy time
Filming
now.
times, yeah.
Is there a game you would love to? Keith says, "Is there a game you would love to do on game night, but feel it just can't work?"
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's tons of games like
Tons.
that. You know,
There's
some.
probably more than
I mean,
There's
we
probably
play-
more than you
a
can
fine
think.
example is Dogmas because it's a great game. It's it's a traditional strategy type game, the European strategy type game, and it's really good. The problem is it's very dry. So one of the reasons why co-ops are so successful is we're all chatting and interacting. I mean, some people get frustrated with our perception of alpha, which I make the case because Dave gets a lot of flack for it, and then Aaron got flack for it on one of our more recent ones, and I said, well, some people say Dave is the worst, but it's not. This is what we ask of them. We want them to point at. We want to talk about all of our options, and again, many times Nikki and I will be the first time we play the game. We may not see all that stuff.
We probably need to record an intro to game night primer.
Okay, yeah.
Here's what we
here's
do,
what
and
we
here's
do.
our philosophy and
It's
why
true.
we do it.
We say it every time when people ask, but it's the
Yeah.
people hearing it are so small compared to the actual viewers.
Is
but
it primer or primer?
Primer.
it's primer.
Primer.
There you go. Hey, Kabuki Kid. How's it going? She is a longtime Board Game Geek chat room person.
All right. Well, Kabuki Kid comments on this stuff all the time.
If you haven't done Yokohama, that would be a good game for game night.
That
since
one
the
actually
deluxe
looks
version
good.
by TMG. I love that game actually. I would love to play it with you guys.
Yeah.
Is that what you were looking at last night?
No, though. It's the intense.
No.
It's kind of like, if you look at it in the way, it's sort of like Feast for Odin,
Oh.
where you have all these things that you can do, but it's a ton of cards. And I'm not even sure. I wonder what the
It's a very.
TMG game is going to look
I
like.
wouldn't say it's complex, but it's got a lot going.
Of
There's a
options.
lot
It's
of
got
things.
options.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
that's
it's
the
good
thing.
game.
Dave was intimidated of
Feast for Odin.
Feast for Odin, and I kept telling him, I go, there's a lot of choices there, but it's you basically get a track and you follow. Like I have these options down this track for me. This is how I've got my stuff set up, and do I want to try to move to these other things? And I honestly feel Dave would do fine with it, but he just is a little nervous about that one because he just doesn't. He's not as crazy as we are for the. We are super omni gamers where we'll play anything,
Oh yeah.
and Dave is not necessarily like that.
Kabuki Kid asks, do you have a self-imposed time limit on games that you will choose to play on video? How long is too long?
Well, this season has had the longest episodes. We had the end of last season. We had. Why am I not remembering it? It was no. Carnival Zombie was 3.5 hours or 3 hours and 29 minutes, and then this season we had Arkham Horror the card game, and that was 1 minute longer. I generally don't like to have the really long episodes. Those are certainly painful to edit, especially when they're the part that you don't necessarily see that we take out is sometimes there's questions, and we don't have those questions on the video. Like there'll be something that comes up, and Aldi's usually Scott is usually listening via Skype, watching us, and so we want to try to make sure we get that figured out, and it can stall things, and then you have to interlay everything back together, and that's where an edit would come in. But we just don't. It could be forever if we didn't edit that stuff out, and that's complications.
The forum, and Aldi is always checking the forums for rules questions too. So sometimes that happens in the middle of a game, too. So it's a pause while we
So the
confirm
long
a
ones-
rule or
But ultimately,
something.
obviously, we're not afraid of 3.5 hour games. It's just we don't want to do them all the time.
Yeah.
Because Scythe was a long
It's
one,
fun to
too.
do really long games, but it's a
Yes.
lot of work.
Yes.
So
It's exponential.
in addition to that question from Kabuki and Valforian 85, how long does it take to produce an episode of Game Night? How long does it take to edit the average episode?
So obviously, the play time is usually roughly what you see, maybe an hour or so longer.
I would say add an hour.
Yeah.
Or
Well, there's a ton of stuff that goes on around it before you even start. So we have to prepare things technically as well, and then editing. Some episodes just flow so smoothly, and it's just me trying to get those camera angle switches as smooth as possible. But some of them are just editorially, it's difficult, and you have to interleave stuff, and it's. I'll be honest, we had some issues with Scythe. That was one of the more complicated episodes we ever had, where there were little things that weren't wrong, but they were illustrated incorrectly in the gameplay, and so we'd had to come back after the fact and reshoot inserts, and inserts are difficult because, again, that's now another camera set of basically another production with 3 cameras and audio that we have to insert into another production that already has 3 cameras and audio. And if you guys, you'd be surprised if you look carefully, you will see the changes on that one because we did reset up the game. We had, Nikki and I had a still image of the game, and we put the money in the same places as best we could. And we
Right,
inserted,
we use screenshots to set the
Yes,
game back
and
up after the
to
fact.
insert that because Dave,
How OCD is that?
I know, but Dave did this one move that was incorrect. We're like, you can't give that as an example. And then we started shooting it, and he started to do it again. We're like, don't show that. You know, that was the whole reason why we're reshooting this.
Barry asks, when am I giving you guys a raise?
Yeah,
Double your salary.
that's right. Woo!
I appreciate that you make a conscious decision to ask Nikki's opinion about a game first, given that you're a little quieter.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's why I pick her first every time, because I think it's tough because, you know, you sometimes have to stew in the game a little bit before you come up with any opinions. And we actually were discussing that last night. Part of it
Yeah.
is like, do we want to give, because, you know, what you're seeing is what it is. We were wondering if maybe we should have like a little bit of maybe 10 or 15 minutes just to think about it. The problem is
stewing time.
everything continues to need to run, and it's more, you know, we run into technical limitations with file size.
Yeah, we're
Actually,
running out of
about
time
5
on
hours
a game recorder.
yeah, the
video recording
5 hours
and
is
audio.
about as long as we could go with, because we have a 4K camera from above, and that the memory cards that we have for that is for a 5-hour limit. So that's the true physical limit to recording stuff.
The thing about giving us a little time to think about it, on one hand, that would be a good idea, but then there's always Dave's joke about you're wasting gold.
Yeah, you're wasting, exactly,
If we
'cause we
turn
would
off the
discuss it.
cameras or
Yes.
whatever, you're wasting gold.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're not actors, so we're not going to recreate a joke or, you know what I mean?
Well, the
like,
thing, what would have to happen is we'd have to all be silent for 15 minutes and think about it, which is possible, but it's just weird.
meditation
It would
on the
remove
game.
some of the
Immediacy of
exciting.
everything.
Yeah, it's hard
exactly.
to remember all that stuff. Like,
I actually
again.
like just jumping into it. That's part of the great thing about discussion. And, you know, part of the issue is we all like, oh, yeah, and then you start to talk over each other. And we try to avoid that, but it's very difficult to always maintain that.
That's part of my quietness, too, is the...
you just gotta get. God damn it!
I'm
Listen to
trying
me.
not to talk over people.
Yeah.
I remember that. Listen to me or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something.
No, yeah, Nikki's on our
Oh,
Geek
yeah.
Starter, yes.
Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah. What do I think?
We'll do a couple more, and it's already 8:35. We should
Yeah.
I
get
know.
going. Hey guys, I'm fairly new to board games. Have a few favorites spelled with an OU, so maybe potentially.
Sam must be
English.
from, yeah.
Love co-op games. Any recommendations? Enjoy your videos.
Co-ops.
For co-ops?
New,
Oh, my gosh. Well,
Pandemic.
Pandemic is, of course, awesome, and Pandemic Legacy. And, of course, we just mentioned Freedom, the Underground Railroad is amazing. And we love Black Orchestra. It's going to be a little difficult to get for a little while till
For
that's
a new
back
player,
out.
I think that'd be a little...
Definitely Pandemic's awesome. And then the Arkham Horror.
Arkham Horror, the card game,
And Arkham Horror.
and Eldritch Horror.
yeah.
I would even go back to Arkham Horror because I
Yeah.
love it too.
But
There's
only
some-
Well,
co-ops?
dude, I loved the Star Trek Panic. That was fun co-op. There's tons of...
lightweight.
That's
Yeah.
very light, but... I
But that's
guess
super fun.
As, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of questions.
Oof.
Dun, dun,
my
dun,
gosh.
dun,
Okay,
dun, dun,
we're going to take no more, but we'll try to get through what we see here real quick.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll. Oh my gosh, where did it end?
That was... Co-ops was the last
Nikki,
question.
what's your favorite type of game?
Oh, my goodness.
Didn't you? Isn't that tile laying?
Well,
backwards
it's
from that.
tile laying, of course. But like you said, Omni Gamer.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm a sucker for tile laying games. That would be definitely something I love to play. Is tile laying. Alhambra is one of my favorite tile layings games, but also Vegas Showdown.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love Vegas
Avalon Hill
Showdown
game.
because I like creating a room or the space. I guess that's what I like about the whole tile laying.
You're a frustrated
thing.
interior designer architect.
Yeah, well, yes, I am.
Why was Headbands filmed with puppets?
Heh.
It was an amazing episode, but so left field.
Well, we have a friend that makes puppets. He did a production of Avenue Q, where he made all of the puppets, designed all the puppets. They were not based on the ones from the actual Broadway show. And he had came to us and showed us these new blockhead puppets. And Scott, we all just thought that would be a fun thing to do for the season opener of season 3. We actually want to use them again. We just haven't had the
We talked about a puppet,
Yeah.
no, a second puppet
maybe
episode.
for
Another
season 5. But yeah,
You got to find the right game though,
Yes.
because the puppets don't have movable hands.
yes, we can't be holding things or
And,
moving parts.
We're not
Although
puppet
we cheated.
masters.
We had our hands coming in to flip
Well,
cards
I think
over.
that was funny.
Yeah, I
Real
agree.
hands with the puppets.
Yep.
But
Grandma Me says, well, I'd like to know what Lincoln and Dave do for a living. I guess on YouTube. What do you do for a living?
Nikki's an artist.
I am
Yeah.
I'm an artist, graphic design, illustration. I also do video animation
Yep.
and advertising for websites and things like that.
Yep. What do you do for a
And I work for BoardGameGeek, and that role's getting bigger. And I also work in facilities planning for a healthcare organization out here in California, and that's a tremendous amount of work. And then Dave is an actor, so
Yeah,
And
and
a
a writer.
you can
He
see
wrote.
him
He
on
worked.
Board-
Yeah, you can check him. IMDb.
IMDb.
David Arnott.
Yes.
Arnott. And he's got quite a resume.
he does.
A lot of people don't realize he co-wrote Last Action Hero.
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
he did.
And he co-wrote Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Zuzu Pedals.
yeah.
I think that might be it.
It was Dave's style. It was
You
just somebody
did-
commenting on
that.
that.
Wasn't it?
Aldi the voyeur. That's true.
What am I? Oh, because I
Voyeur,
watched.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
sitting there
you
watching
watch.
the songs the whole time.
He has such a great teaching style. Yeah, Dave is amazing. Dave blew me away the first time I met him
Circles.
13 years ago, and blew me away at how great he was at explaining
Oh,
rules.
yeah.
So he was always number one to be on game night, for sure. And then Aaron's just got a great, fun personality. We would go to these conventions, and after midnight, we would play Extra, the Reiner Knizia game, and it was just insanity and hilarious. So those guys have always been so much fun. There's other great guys that have moved away from Southern California that we'd love to have. Ryan Wheeler's one of our favorite fun guys. Scott got to meet him at BGG Con this year, and we just had he and his brother had a great time. They're so much fun.
Yeah. Playing we
With our
played a
bad
lot
jokes
of,
and everything. Insider and
Insider with
and
them.
Not Alone. Those
and
are fun.
Night Alone.
Yes,
Alone.
co-op
No.
game. Well, it's one versus many.
Oh, that one is
that
so
one's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Last question.
Ah.
Have you ever thought about a mini or war game for game night?
I mean,
Well, I love.
Miniatures.
Minis.
Or,
I mean, I'm historically I'm a huge Games Workshop fan. I love their miniatures. I love painting them. We
Space Hulk, maybe.
Space Hulk. So I painted those minis,
Yep.
and Scott goes, "It would be awesome to have these minis for BGG Con." So I'm like, "Okay." So I finished
No pressure,
the
no. I didn't put
Marines.
any pressure on
I
that.
finished the Marines, then we together painted the Gene Stealers, and I started back up on these. This is when the game was released, 2009, the third edition, and I started them back up, and we are now 8 years later, and I'm still just getting through the Space Marines again. That's another thing that Nikki and I would like to try to do is maybe live streaming some of our miniature painting and stuff
or
like that.
painting sessions.
So there's a great group that is already doing stuff like that called Hobby Hangout on Facebook that you should check out. There's a lot of inspiration there, and we may try to reach out to them and work with them, but that's something we really would really like to do. And I love Space Hulk. That is such a
Space Hulk is a
spectacular game.
favorite.
And I have very old vampire accounts
Yeah,
that I
and her
still
army.
haven't finished painting from
And she's got a Dark
years
Eldar
ago.
army, too.
And a Dark Eldar, yeah.
I have far too many armies. I can't even count them.
Okay, so let's wrap it up.
Thanks,
We
everybody,
will
for
be
jumping in.
on live Wednesday and Thursday of next week
From Las Vegas.
from Las Vegas Gamma Trade Show 2017. We're gonna have like 50 publishers on, at least maybe 60. It's like 30 per day or something, 20 something per day, and
Yes.
a lot of
We
games.
play it on teams. That's what we would do
playing
on
on teams
Space
for
Hulk.
sure.
Yeah.
Teams. All right.
Take care,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, bye everybody.